your energy manifests onto the rainbow road and takes the shape. First, it's interesting because you, like the golden particles that are kind of manifesting onto the rainbow road, I see you in human form with your arms stretched out above your head, and your hands are like flip-flopping with really straight arms, and your one palm is face up and the other hand is palm face down, and they're like your hands, the inner arms are touching completely, and your hands keep flip-flopping back and forth to like one palm up, one palm down, one palm up, one palm down, and you keep doing this as the golden particles are manifesting onto the rainbow road and taking over kind of your human form. And so I'm the golden particles, and I'm seeing this taking over your body, and it keeps coming down inch by inch over you, and it moves in cadence with your hands flopping forward and back. And so as it takes over completely and you completely immerse yourself into the golden particles, you turn into a big rabbit. And so instantly in my head I get like a shape-shifting quality, because this is kind of the exact MO of shape-shifting. And so I ask for the title of your reading, and it's called Learn. And so from here, I see this rabbit now take the shape, and it's almost like he turns into like military rabbit, and he has this big machine gun, and it doesn't feel like our American US military. It feels almost like European in some way. I don't know why, because maybe he was wearing a beret. I don't know, maybe there is a part of our military that has a beret, but he's wearing this like beret, but it's in like full camo, and he's got like a vest, and he's literally shooting a machine gun back and forth, just spraying bullets everywhere. And so I'm going, this is really interesting. So I'm connected to like the shape-shifting, and I'm going, okay, well, if we're thinking shape-shifting, like this could be the representation of, when you shape-shift into an animal, you do it because of its protective quality. And usually like healer shamanic work is done that way, right? So that the human form is protected, and you're almost using the ally of the animal spirits to help with whatever kind of work you're doing. So I'm watching this, and as I start to kind of gather all this information, then the rabbit loses the armor and guns and everything, and becomes just a rabbit hopping on all fours or walking on all fours, and the ground beneath you, you're the rabbit, the ground beneath you opens. And so now I know for sure we're going on a shamanic journey, and I'm so excited because out of 109 readings, this has not happened to this point, and shamanic journeying is like one of my favorite things in the world. So you're the rabbit, and I'm following you in this, and so this tunnel begins to open up in the ground, and I watch. And anytime, if you've done a shamanic journey, like it's the pace is intense, right? It's very almost like panicked, like you have to get to wherever you're going. And so your rabbit starts navigating through the tunnels underneath the ground and taking me down, and I'm following him really closely, and we're weaving and going in and out of all these different tunnels that are dark, but I can see like the cave walls, and finally we get to this opening, and he puts his arm back to stop me, and I'm not allowed into any of these areas, and he's showing me. And what we're looking at is this huge cavern filled with crystals, and they're like phosphorescent style, like they're glowing, and I see these different colors glowing, emanating out of these crystals. And he looks at me and he goes, "She needs to come here." And so, of course, now, if you haven't gotten already, you have to take a shamanic journey. The information here. There's a little bit of information we get about it at the end about the rabbit connection, but the work you're gonna have to do. So I apologize, but basically saying, okay, this is the first stop in the shamanic journey. You have to get yourself to this crystal cave and get yourself in the crystal cave, and of course the rabbit will lead you here, and there's going to be something gained, something understood when you get yourself in amongst these crystals. I believe they have a message for you. And so then we keep moving, and we keep winding down deeper into the earth, and following the caves and moving around, and then he gets to the next kind of room off to the side and stops, and I can't go in, but he goes in. And so I'm watching, and it's really interesting. There's all these like floating, there's no top and there's no bottom to this room he jumps into, but there's all these like little circular pieces of land almost, and he jumps in and they're moving up and down and kind of left and right, and there's definite walls on the left and right side, and I get this dynamic between the left side and the right side. And I see him hop in, and as he hops in, it's like really the depth perception changes. Like he becomes very small. So this room is like huge and expansive. And he's using all these little pieces of land that are kind of moving or floating in this area to kind of move towards one of the sides of the walls. And as he does, I kind of get this like huge almost face in the wall. There's like a huge face. It's almost like, I don't know if you've seen Pocahontas, like the tree that's the wise woman tree. That's kind of what I'm getting in the wall. And so there's this something between the left side and something between the right side. And I get that there's a duality between both of them. And so it's going to be going, I think, to them and figuring out who or what it is in relationship to you, and then hearing whatever the message or the information is for the lesson, I think, that's coming about through the shamanic journey. And so I think that you need to go and listen to the two sides of the story, or the two guides here, or the two, I'm not sure what it is, that hold information for you. And then from here, the rabbit comes out, and then we journey down now. And as we get really deep, we're coming up to the kind of final component of this lesson, or whatever's being learned. And I start going through, it feels like as you travel through the fourth dimension, the white light, the stargate kind of that you move through. And it feels like this intense pull. We're going through all these different white hoop delights in these tunnels. And so I feel myself as if I'm transitioning into a different time space. And then it basically opens up, like the ground kind of opens up like it did in the very beginning. And the rabbit and I both roll out to this interesting landscape. And it almost looks like those tall, dry grass looking things, like it could be wheat, but it's almost like tall, dry, yellowish grass. And they're kind of just swaying back and forth. And it looks like this like river of this grass. And the sky has this bluish orange cast, and it's just almost like a prayer, a very large like landscape, almost like a prayer, something flat. Like I don't see trees off in the distance. It's just this grass and this interesting kind of colored sky. And so as I'm standing there, I know we're in some kind, if it's another planet, another lifetime, whatever it may be, or if it's something representative of this lifetime, not sure. But then I see this structure appear, and so this happens to me when I go to connect with my guides. So I'm not sure if it's something similar, but I know that inside the structure is going to be waiting for you the kind of final element or the final component of the lesson, or what needs to be learned from these three or the two previous encounters and now this encounter. So I get that this will probably tie it all together. I'm thinking if I should tell you what usually happens to me at the end, but I don't think I should. So I think we can connect on it once you've done it, and see maybe if we get the same connections at the final kind of component of the journey here. But I know that there's something waiting for you inside of that house that's going to pull everything together for you. And then basically the rabbit's with you. He's your guide the whole time. So I see then, to transition out of this shamanic journey, basically the rabbit, there's this portal that kind of opens within the house, and it takes you straight up out of the house and back into your body. So from here, I'm watching, and we get pulled back up into the Rainbow Road. And so now I'm seeing you in human form, in your female form, and I see you running down the Rainbow Road, arms outstretched, and it's like I see 10 layers of your body like peel off of you, and they come off in these like smoke, like a train would poof this, like a chugging train would do those smoke poofs. Like that's what I see. And I see these like poofs coming off of your body and peeling off of your body. And it's like whatever that was that you were holding on to, or that was, I think, experienced within the shamanic journey, whatever that learning is. Again, the title is Learn. So I think whatever that learning is, I think it opens you, it takes you into a deeper level of of existence within your form now or in this lifetime. And so I see you like just almost like set free. And so now you come up to the I see you come up to the wooden doorway that represents the next kind of jump into the next part of the story. And so the wooden door frame, the portal kind of takes you into where I'm going to see where you are aligned within the chakras or what's going on for the chakras. And so again, you're running so free and you don't even like hesitate. Your arms open, you just jump. You're like, I am in. And so you jump and you jump right into the heart chakra. Well, you jump lower, but then you get pulled right up into the heart chakra. And now you are open. It's like your arms are outstretched, your legs are outstretched, and you're like this 5-pointed star in your green heart chakra. And basically you are alive. And when I see somebody who I know is an intuitive kind of jump into the heart chakra like this, I almost get that there's this deeper connection into being a teacher, being able to bring through whatever the purpose is that you're working on. And I almost get that it's more of a it's almost more aligned into that purpose and being able to bring that through. And so it's just this overwhelming confidence within the heart chakra. And so again, that I would have to assume that the vulnerability aspect. So I saw the layers of yourself peeling off, and then the fact that you jump right into the heart chakra. I would get maybe that you've let go of a component of yourself, maybe that you weren't so vulnerable to, because heart chakra is always, the shadow of the heart chakra is kind of allowing yourself to be vulnerable in a way. And so so I think that might have something to do with it as well. But so I see very connected and open and just like in it, in it here in the heart chakra. And so from here, you now manifest onto a path that's leading you up to the Akashic records. And so instantly I see the records, and it's almost this huge fortress. And I'm getting like the what is it? It doesn't matter, I guess. It looks like this big castle fortress, but there's this outer wall with like a drawbridge. And as soon as you get close to it, it lowers the drawbridge for you, as if it knows your energy and was waiting for you. And I like have to run and speed up, because as soon as you step on it, it like closes. It was just waiting for your energy. So I have to like speed up to be able to follow along. And so, but then I see that there's all of these internal walls and drawbridges. And so again, I think I'm just getting confirmation of the thought that passed through my mind with the releasing some of those walls around the heart chakra, or allowing the vulnerability. So I'm getting that same connection here in the Akashic records, is that there's all these external walls kind of that were sensitive to just a specific energy. And so it's just a confirmation for me that yes, I think we were dealing with something about allowing yourself to open up more fully or be more vulnerable. It's something about layers and almost like layers of protection or guard that I see being released within whatever is kind of learned or gained through that shamanic journey. And so then as we get into the final door into this kind of fortress that had been guarded, I see now all of these bunny rabbits that are all with it. Like there's no room. Everything is taken up by all these bunny rabbits. And so as soon as you walk in, all these bunny rabbits pull together and make this one big rabbit. And basically the rabbit then takes on this very old, wise, kind of all-knowing voice and looks at you and basically touches you in your solar plexus area and says, now they're doing like chakra totem work, which is so cool. This is like everything I love about shamanic work. So basically says that the rabbit is the ally that's partnered with you and chosen to partner with you in the solar plexus chakra, in your power center. And then the attributes of the rabbit identify with the connection to you in your power center here. And so the rabbit being like the friend to all, the rabbit being the simple life, but the just the genuine, the loving, the caring, the empathic, the compassionate archetype. In fairy tales, the rabbit appears as the trickster archetype, though, using cunning to outwit enemies, but also symbolizing like innocence and youthfulness. And so, and then this rabbit that's kind of touching you and saying, you know, this is what you've chosen, this is the partner. And then he says, though, that there's the hidden side of the rabbit that you've chosen to take on. And I think this is the trickster, the cunning kind of, but there's this opposite side of the rabbit that you've chosen to take on, and that's that Rambo rabbit that I saw. And something about the lesson, something about the journey that I think you just come to discover is talking about that there was something maybe that happened, there was some trigger, there was something that that enabled you to, instead of being completely vulnerable and open to the those attributes of the rabbit that you have and you hold dear, and I think you would probably call your best maybe attributes, like the friend, the innocent, the compassionate, the healing, like those attributes of the rabbit. For whatever reason, there's this, there was a need, or maybe you still played out in life, that there's a protection that comes about. And that was that Rambo rabbit that I saw in the very beginning that had the gun and was blazing and shooting up and whatever. And it's almost like this, you know, I got to protect all of those innocent qualities that the rabbit has, and those vulnerable qualities. And so this rabbit is in your Akashic records and basically telling you why you and the rabbit have partnered together in this lifetime and become these allies, and that almost as if it's like it's time to let go of that protection mechanism that you've chosen to put on in this power center, because when that's released, and I think there's information, and even more information that comes from that shamanic journey, just about this, but I think it'll maybe help you to see this. But that when that can be let go, it's almost like full blossoming of this power center, and the solar plexus, the yellow, the wisdom center. That's what we have to pull down to bring down, like, the information from the Akashic records, or the highest, most divinely aligned information for ourselves and for others. And so when there's almost like a freedom or a release of the protecting quality, or the protection that maybe was sought from this, that full expansion into that heart chakra can happen, and then full expansion of your gifts and talents, and the ability to teach, because I know you mentioned that you're a teacher as well, that it's almost like this complete connection to that divine line comes through. So with light and love, I can't wait to hear what experiences you have.